For the best price, click the link in the description. I'm sure many of you have been following 3D printing for a while now, and when it comes to choosing the right FDM printer, one name that keeps popping up is Prusa. In this review, we'll be taking an in-depth look at their MK4S model. But here's what surprised me. Despite its popularity, I've encountered several users who have had some pretty disappointing experiences with this particular model. Therefore, if you're thinking of investing in a Prusa MK4S, keep watching to see if it's the right choice for you. The Prusa MK4S is a highly regarded printer known for its reliability and ease of use. It boasts an impressive 50-micron layer resolution and features a heated chamber that allows for printing with a wide range of materials. But there are some potential drawbacks to consider, which we'll be diving into in more detail below. One of the main concerns I've heard from users is the printer's reliability issues. Some have reported frequent jamming problems, while others have experienced loose belts and worn-out gears after relatively short periods of use. Therefore, if you're planning on printing extensively with this model, be prepared for some downtime. But don't just take my word for it. Let's take a closer look at the MK4S's design and see where these issues might be coming from. The Prusa MK4S features a sturdy aluminum frame that provides excellent stability and rigidity. However, I've noticed that some users have reported issues with the printer's alignment, which can lead to printing quality problems down the line. There are several potential reasons for this misalignment. It could be due to the printer's build quality or perhaps the design of its bed leveling system. Let's take a closer look at these factors and see how they might impact your overall user experience. One thing that stood out to me when I first started researching the Prusa MK4S is its community support. The Prusa team has put together an extensive wiki and forum where users can share their experiences, ask questions, and get help from other enthusiasts. But while this level of community involvement is great for troubleshooting, it doesn't necessarily address the fundamental issues with the printer itself. Therefore, let's take a closer look at what these problems might be and whether they're deal breakers for most users. One common issue I've seen reported by several users is the MK4S's lack of an integrated filament sensor. This can lead to wasted time and materials when printing jobs are interrupted mid-run due to a jam or other issue. But what exactly does this mean, and how might it impact your overall user experience? In order to understand just how big of a deal this is, let's take a look at the implications for users who rely on their 3D printers extensively. If you're printing regularly for work, school, or hobby projects, an integrated filament sensor can be a major game changer. But there are other factors to consider as well. What about the MK4S's build volume and extruder performance? How might these features impact your ability to print complex models or large quantities of parts? Now that we've discussed some of the potential drawbacks of the Prusa MK4S, let's take a look at some user reviews and see what other enthusiasts have had to say about their experiences with this model. From what I can gather, it seems like the majority of users are generally happy with their MK4S printers. They appreciate the reliability and ease of use that this model offers. But there are some who have reported more significant issues, which we'll be discussing in more detail below. So far, it's been a mixed bag when it comes to user experiences with the Prusa MK4S. But what about its performance? In terms of print quality, speed, and overall efficiency, how does this model stack up against other 3D printers on the market? After researching the MK4S thoroughly, I've come across several areas where this printer excels. Its heated chamber, for example, is a major plus when it comes to printing with ABS and PETG materials. But are there any potential downsides to consider as well? In addition to the issues we've discussed so far, some users have reported problems with the MK4S's extruder performance. Specifically, they've noted that this model tends to over-extrude, a problem that can lead to wasted filament and subpar print quality. But is this issue unique to the Prusa MK4S? Are there other printers on the market that share similar design flaws? Let's take a closer look at some of these alternative models and see how they compare to the MK4S in terms of performance, reliability, and overall value. What are your options when it comes to choosing a 3D printer, and is the Prusa MK4S really worth the investment? One thing that stood out to me when researching this model was its price point. At around $1,500, it's certainly one of the more expensive options on the market. But does it live up to its reputation as a top-of-the-line 3D printer? For most users, I'd say that the answer is no. Despite its impressive specs and reliability features, the Prusa MK4S has too many potential drawbacks to be considered a worthwhile investment for everyone. So if you're thinking of buying this model, what should you consider before making your purchase? If you've made it this far in our review without getting discouraged by all these negatives, then congratulations, you're probably already considering the Prusa MK4S's strengths as well. Therefore, let's summarize some key takeaways and see if we can find a way to make this model more appealing. First of all, it's worth noting that many users have reported excellent experiences with their MK4S printers. They love its reliability, ease of use, and high-quality prints. But is it worth the investment for you? If you're a seasoned 3D printing enthusiast or professional looking to upgrade your existing setup, then maybe the Prusa MK4S will be a good fit. However, if you're just starting out or on a tight budget, there are likely better options available. One thing that might make this model more appealing is its customization capabilities. With an active community and open-source design, it's relatively easy to upgrade or modify your printer as needed. But what about the community support we mentioned earlier? Does Prusa provide sufficient resources for troubleshooting common issues? As I've dug deeper into user reviews and forums, I've found that while Prusa does offer extensive documentation and online resources, there are still many users who struggle with troubleshooting their MK4S printers. Therefore, let's summarize some key takeaways from our review so far. For the best price on Amazon, click this link in the description below. This will save you money and help support this channel's content creation efforts.